Alright, today we're gonna be talking about FAZE, something that I think is actually truly sad because I remember growing up and FAZE was like the thing. Like the very first time I ever found out about FAZE was I think MW2. Like I already knew what it was. I already knew it was about quick scoping and montages, and there was no real FAZE member that I was like truly attached to until about Modern Warfare Remastered. And even then I didn't watch YouTube like how I watch it now. Like now I watch it pretty much every day, and what I'm speaking about is pretty much FAZE Jev. And how I think he's probably, or I would say that he is the best FAZE member, at least in my opinion. Oh my god. I thought it was pretty funny because I already had this idea of making this video, and then he posted, and pretty much I commented on FAZE Jev's video, pretty much saying that he's the only FAZE member left that is still S tier. And you know, people had a bunch of things to say, agreeing, disagreeing, you know, like saying like funny ass things like, what about FAZE Merc? Which honestly I forgot Nick Mercs was even in FAZE. Speaking of someone else that I completely forgot that was in FAZE, what about Snoop Dogg? I mean, this man hopped in, took his check, and bounced. I think he mentioned FAZE maybe once or twice. And I mean, can you really blame him? I mean, capture that bag, bro. Everyone knows that Snoop Dogg is like the GOAT. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he was in Warzone 1 as a playable character. Oh no, I guess it was Vanguard, huh? Now, obviously, the gaming landscape has changed considerably since the inception of FAZE. Like, in the olden days, it was all about sniping, montage, weed, Doritos. You know what I mean? Like MW2 and just doing cool flips off buildings and hitting a nice trick shot. FAZE is probably one of the few that broke through the norm and became mainstream, which is so sad to see that what they're currently at. I mean, just look at their stock prices, which I think they opened up at like above $10, and now they're at like 70 cents, which is just honestly ridiculous and really sad to see. But I mean, really, that's just like too poor management and just basically I guess the OGs letting go of their company. Maybe the shares got too big with other people. It got too corporate. That's just really sad to see where FAZE is now compared to what they were. I mean, back in the day, it was like the thing. Even just like go back to like 2019, I felt like joining FAZE was a huge deal. Like now people get pissed off if you join FAZE. You know, people joining FAZE apparently just because they were in an episode of Stranger Things. I know everyone has their preferred FAZE member that they like and that they're ride or die with, and they're gonna ride it with them until the end. But the only one that I've really truly ever been attached to is FAZE Jev. He's the only one that I've watched consistently for years on years on years. And just because I think he's the only S tier FAZE member doesn't mean that there's not other good FAZE members. Like, what do you guys think? Can FAZE even make a comeback? I mean, would it even be considered a comeback? Like, is the company so far gone and so out of touch? Because it just really seems like it's in the wrong hands. It's like in a bunch of old heads. I don't even know if it's possible for the OGs to get it back. But even then, like if the OGs get it back, is it even savable? Can you even get it back to what it was? I mean, because FAZE has had just such a steep fall from grace.